My name is Anna Ushakova. I'm from Friends of the Baltic organization. It is a non-governmental and no-profit organization, and we work mostly with different projects related with water issues. And we are also part of Coalition of Clean Baltic for more than 20 years already. And today I would like to tell you about our project, which we implemented with Coalition of Clean Baltic. And Friends of the Baltic was like a leader partner. And as we are NGO, we are not me personally, I'm not academic person, not science. And so our main aim to gather, to collect information in this topic and try to start discussion on this topic and try to spread information among the general public and to try to make it more understandable for people and try to get access to this. I have very short and very basic review of flood risk management in European Union country, but I'm not a European Union citizen, and so I will be very happy if you will help me and maybe add something if you know more. And also I would like to say that it's been 1 year when we finished this project. Now I see a lot of gaps and we would like to continue this work and fill this gap. From our first day, I collect your topics and your knowledge, your contacts, and maybe I will reach you soon to help me to continue work on this. Firstly, I would like to tell more about the project. It's a rather small one, but we have three stages of this project. First was collecting information from our partner organizations and from CCB members, of course. Also, we had open webinar. It was during the COVID time from 2020 and until 2021. The webinar was for NGO who work in this sphere, and we collect different topics and issues which our organizations faced in this sphere, and also we collect some examples of projects in this sphere. After that, I start work on a report. So it's kind of observation of legislation in EU countries and also non-EU countries like Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine as well. And after that, we prepare a report of all of this work, and based on a report, we organized information campaign for general public. It was in on our webpage of Coalition of Clean Baltic in Facebook, and also in Russian social network vk.com, and in Instagram, and it was in Sweden, in Estonia, in Russia and Belarus, Lithuania. All partner organizations can translate to their own language and share these materials. So we did like special design for this and prepared text, and in Canva we just translated to each language who would like to join our campaign. And the next stage we implemented in St. Petersburg. We organized media tour for media representative person for TV channels, representative newspapers, and also popular ecological bloggers and influencers who would like to join us and tell about our work. And we collect together all of these people and took it and showed different examples how climate change and flood affect our coastal and river basin zones, and we show bad examples of this, and also show good examples how we can prevent these events and how we can improve flood risk management on river basin and coastal area as well. So it was like 3 stages. So collect information, report, and sharing this information. And I will tell you a bit more about each of these stages. What was the report and information campaign about? We gather very basic information about climate change. We, as an NGO, try to fill these gaps between like scientific knowledge and general public, try to transfer it to more understandable way for everyone. We firstly talk about consequences of climate change on river basin and talk about deterioration of water qualities due to the increased level of pollutants flushed into waters, increasing eutrophication, increasing nutrients runoff, and also biodiversity loss due to deterioration of water bodies and increased temperature. Also, destruction of vital socio-economic infrastructure. This picture from information campaign, which we prepared, and this design we prepared especially for campaign, and these pictures for social media was shared in different countries. Also, we collect information from scientific studies, what we can expect in the future 100 years, that sea level will increase in the future, and also we can expect extreme of precipitation, especially in northern part of Baltic Sea, and also we can decrease cold season and not so severe ice winters, and also increase heat waves, and eutrophication can be increased too in this case. It's also from our campaign some information that number of major floods in Europe has increased over 25 years period. Summer floods in 2013 in Central and Southeastern Europe was the most catastrophic. And under the worst emission scenario, climate change could triple in direct damage from the river floods during the first century if we will not have any like additional adaptation measures. There are very short overview of risk management in EU countries. Of course, it's there. You know that you have a European Water Framework Directive, which obliges EU countries to develop and update river management plans, and also Directive Flood Risk Assessment and Management, or just flood directive, which also requests EU country to develop flood risk management plans for 6 years. And this last year, I guess, the first cycle was finished, and now you can see reports how the first round of flood risk management plans was implemented in different countries around Europe. It's consists of preliminary flood risk assessment, development flood hazard maps, flood risk maps, and after that, based on all this information, development of flood risk management plans for every river basin in the country. It's consists of like key areas of flood risk management plan is flood prevention, flood protection, and preparation for flooding. Here you can also see different measures for preparation of flooding. It's rather important. When I did this overview, I work on different flood risk management plan from different Baltic countries, and it can be very different, implemented in different way. And for example, some countries under the water directive, they should do this kind of plan for each river basin. But some country implemented only for whole rivers in the country. So, but quite good example of this, it's Poland, and there are several flood risk management plan for the bigger river of the country, and it's look like very detailed and good plan. But I unfortunately don't know how it in real life. And what's a very important thing from my opinion in this plan, and if we will compare with non-European Union country, that here you can also see possibility for public participation. So public can should have opportunity to with all of this information and to reach all documents and plans, especially if we talk about some big infrastructure project which can have a big influence to people, daily life, and also environmental, and also people can comment and can take part in discussion according to the flood risk management directive. But it's very interesting how it's happened in real life, and unfortunately I don't have this information. If you can share, I will be very happy, because I think it's for us, like for NGO, it's one of the most important point. About flood risk management plans in Russian Federation and the Republic of Belarus. In Russian Federation, we have a water code, and under water code, since 2014, we have integrated water resources use and protection schemes for 63 basin and some basin, river basin, including the river basin of Russian and transboundary river in the Baltic Sea region. And if to be not so long, these schemes quite similar with flood risk management plan, but without public participation. But there are almost the same measures there, so like risk assessment, hazards and risk flood maps, and a lot of scientific research in this sphere, and also alarm, how to work with an improved alarm system of flooding. And there are like big part, and if we talk about transboundary rivers, they're a big part of international cooperation, and so we need to work with our neighbors and to organize like common risk management actions for every country where river basin is. But unfortunately, it's only on paper, as we know, and due to current circumstances, it will be much harder in future too, I think. And if we talk about Belarus, they have like water code as well, and also river basin council and river basin management plans. And if we talk about measures and description, it's quite similar. So it's kind of between Russia, Belarus, and in this case, Ukraine is also interesting, because during the European Association, Ukraine should prepare by 2022 their own flood risk management plan. It should be the same like in European Union countries, but unfortunately, you know what's happening. It's like our dream and wish about transboundary integrated flood risk management plan. And it was like our suggestion in the report what we would like to see in our transboundary river basin. We would like to see like common flood risk management plan for all countries in the river basin and international agreement on this. As we know from the Vatman project, Estonian, Russian transboundary river Narva, we have a very different methodology and approaches, and so we have a lot of what to do in this sphere and in risk management plan too, but we have common problem, and if we could work together, it can be quite effective and useful for everyone. And development of international warning and other plans within transboundary river basin, and the implement of interagency agreements in the field of hydrometeorology, environmental monitoring, and data exchange of the condition of transboundary watercourses between countries and transboundary river base in Baltic Sea region. And we took, in the report, we took some examples, and as I already said, I really like Polish flood risk management plan. And I took Vistula River Basin. It's a transboundary river and shared by Belarus, Poland, Slovakia, and Ukraine. You can learn more about it if you want in the report, but very shortly I will say that International Vistula River Basin district is evaluated by European Commission as cooperation category 3, that there are like formal international agreement between countries which regulated somehow management in this river basin, but there are no specialized management body of international river basin region and implementation of river basin management plan. But we don't have in the Baltic Sea region like good example of this. Maybe it's one of the best one. But in Central Europe, in Germany, we have such kind of river basin which have some specialized management body and have some kind of international river body agreements and so on. So it is the report. You can find it in CCB webpage. And about campaign, campaign topic was a bit more basic in this sphere, and we talk about impact of climate change of river basin, that climate change is happening right now, and not only some countries, some region faced with this problem, but also Baltic Sea region also affected by these consequences. And it is not far away. You can meet it just next of your door. We find examples of flooding in Russia and Eastern Europe, and I would like to thank our colleagues who helped me in this. Get the statistic of droughts and floods, and also we present some adaptation measures, regulatory instruments and documents in flood risk management sphere. And we presented some good examples. It was, example of water management from Helsinki, like urban water management. Also, we presented flood risk management on transboundary rivers. We took two rivers. It was Vistula and Neman. And in Neman case, there were some scientific and non-governmental organization cooperation in quite a good level, and we share also this information like a good example of common river-based management. And also we write some Vistula and Neman suggestion for improving flood risk management tools. And topic was rather narrow and very specific, but we did 5 days of information campaign in different social media, and we reach more than 13,000 people in different countries, maybe a bit more. And also we get a lot of questions, and we can say that we start kind of discussion, because what we get from our audience, people usually thought that it's consequences of climate change, it's some there in Africa or Arctic or Antarctic, but so that it can be on the river basin, it's quite difficult to believe sometimes. But if you have like examples, they start to ask questions and even argue with you that it's always was like that, and it's nothing with climate change and so on. But it anyway was very interesting to talk with people and to know their opinion and how this dialogue can be developed in society. And there are some examples of floods from Estonia and from Lithuania. It's also from our campaign. Next events which I would like to share with you, it's media tour for journalists and bloggers. And I would like to tell you about some points of this media tour. As I already said, we gather about 30 media representatives for this tour, and we put them on the bus and go through all of the points. In south and north coastal area of Gulf of Finland, it's not far from St. Petersburg. And here, quite interesting example of flooding. It's Sistra River, and here you can see quite a big flood in 2018. We collect information about these floods and about flood statistics. And statistics say that the last 30 years, participation is growing every year, and floods usually occur during the winter time. And last years we had quite severe floods in this area. And after that we came to this village. So officially it's part of St. Petersburg, but it's kind of garden community. Here is the chairman of this community, and we asked from her and also from other citizens who live there about floods, what they think about floods. It was like kind of listening survey, when we ask people and just listen what they're talking about. And it was quite interesting because they confirm that floods become more frequent in this area, and participation is growing. When we ask about reason why it's happening here, it's very there were a lot of interesting questions, even some conspiracy theory, and but the main reasons it is very high, extreme participation during some period of time. Here, our media representatives take interview from her, and she repeat all of this and what she think about it. And one very important point which we work with, that we try not only to get information to people, but also share. Because if flooding is happening, we need to be prepared for this. And how we can prevent river pollution in this case, just in our daily life, how we can manage our household. Because in this area, and also in general in Russian, we still have a lot cesspools, for example, and also not so good examples of manure storage. We have like small kitchen farms in their house, and different other examples, and even just garbage. So if we know that in this territory might be floods that we need to think about it and try to put these points further from the river and safer for our water bodies, for our rivers as well. And in our work, we try to present not only like bad examples, but also good examples. And one of the good examples is dry toilet with separate collections and composting of waste. And we have some points in coastal area, and we also visited and share information how important to think about this. Here it is not about river basin, but we also visited place of coastal area, because we have quite long coastal area in St. Petersburg, and you can see coastal erosion here. It is not far from St. Petersburg. It's Repina, northern coast, and during the storms, coast was destroyed almost, and it's happening quite frequent in this sphere. And there are danger for infrastructure, because road comes quite close to this place. Okay, and the results of this media tour was quite good. And we had a lot of publications in local media and also TV reports, and a lot of posts in social media as well. And it was quite discussive and interesting topic. So that's it.